Okay, we should be live. I'm going to make sure everything's working. Hopefully we don't have a debacle like we did last time, where we were having issues technology-wise for the first, hour. Yeah, it seems good. Audio appears to be fine. Just going to get this all set up, and then we can begin. All right, let's get this show on the road. Week 7 and 8. We've got two pretty exciting games today. We're going to watch 4 good teams. Everyone's roster changes are good. I just did them now. So for Week 7, I decided not to have a poll because there's really only one game that, legitimately is interesting. And it's the 2 best teams in the league. So, let's be real. That's the choice. And then Week 8, I'm pretty sure the Browns and Aviators won. I would say that's probably the best game on the schedule, in my opinion, although I think the Dolphins and Beats might be second. So I don't think we really could have gone wrong either way. But yeah, none of these other games are, all that exciting. Yeah, the only game or games with multiple over 500 teams are Toronto, Chicago, and Cleveland, Detroit. So, I mean, those teams are cool, but let's be real. Orlando, Carolina is the game. Sunday Night Football, the 2 best teams in the league. Siri, give me a whole number between 1 and 2. 2. I want to say that's Carolina. I love how the Wizards are an 80 overall. Yet, not only are they 6-0, but they're not winning many close games. Yeah, I mean, look at these scores. This is an 80 overall team. Yet, we've got all of us at the top who are not good. But, I mean, the Wizards do have Patrick Mahomes, so that'll happen. Yes, Agba is a defensive tackle. Amazing to believe the Panthers are playing the Browns in the OFL. I think you're getting ahead of yourself.
We know Madden and your history, so. Alright, what are we doing for jerseys? This Wizards combo is hideous. I feel like we have to go with the purple one, the dark purple. Although Dan is here, so he can pick his jerseys. Do you want to wear purple, please, or white? Echo.
I'm stupid. There we go. And then for Carolina, I don't think Huskers here, so we can do regular home. We can do white. We can do blue. Purple. Okay, thank the Lord. I don't think purple versus black would look good, because that's a dark purple. Yeah. So, do we want white or do we want blue? I think the blue is light enough to where you'll be able to tell a clear difference. Blue. My vote is for blue, too. I have a feeling blue is probably going to win convincingly, as it should. So I guess we're rocking blue. All right, the 2 best teams in the league so far. I'm pretty sure these are the only 2 undefeated teams left. I don't think anybody else is perfect. Although it is in Carolina, I do feel like the Panthers are the underdogs a little bit because the Wizards have just been so dominant this year. And Orlando's always really good, particularly on offense, in watch games, really throughout all of OFL 22. And I'm not sure if that's going to change here. So I don't know if Carolina's going to be able to keep up with Orlando's firepower, but these guys did make the OFL Bowl in all 3 preseason sims. So I don't think we have watched the Wizards yet this season, no. But they're a team who historically has done really well in watched, and obviously they're 6-0 in the sim with, I think, 4 multi-score wins, some of which are blowouts. Can you please make sense? How is an 89 overall team 1-5? I don't know. Story of my life. Although we probably shouldn't be 1-5. We've had a few games get away from us, but I mean, we should be better than our record. You guys should be better than your record. The Beats should be better than the record. I mean, there's a lot of them, but that's EA Sports, folks. It's unpredictable, and that's like the charm. Yeah, I'm kind of digging the blue versus the purple. I think both jerseys look good against each other. Nothing there for Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And now Carolina's going to have to throw the ball. They've got a good quarterback. They've got some weapons. They've got the best receiver on the Vikings from the 2020 draft class. And they have Justin Jefferson. And Carolina's going to punt. Great first drive for the Panthers. So that'll bring out the Wizards. We get a look at Patrick Mahomes, who has been an MVP frontrunner multiple seasons in a row. He's probably an MVP frontrunner again, because he's been probably one of the best quarterbacks in the league on probably the best team in the league. His 1,400-yard receiver from last year isn't here, and he has not missed a beat. Why would you want to watch a Wizards and Browns playoff game? We already know the Browns defensive coordinator does meth, and we saw the Wizards score. How many did they score in the Chiefs playoff game last year? 55? Yeah, the Wizards lost that game, but still, 52, 55. They scored over 50. I don't remember the exact number. Should have been picked off. Geno Smith clears. What was his line after the game on Monday? They wrote me off, but I ain't right back. That was cold. Geno's a baller for that. It's a shame they're going to lose by like 20 next weekend. Mahomes on third down, launches it deep, and it is caught at the 1 by Kadarius Toney. Yeah, that's Patrick Mahomes, ladies and gentlemen, summed up to a T. That was a pretty nice throw, and now he is in the zone. Mahomes has time, can't find anybody, so he just gets rid of it. Good to see EA finally let Mahomes play on 99 overall. I feel like he's just been inconsistent in the past in Sim, but in Madden 22, he's always been very good, as he should be, because he is Patrick Mahomes. In real life, you guys need Toney on the field. Yeah, why didn't he get snaps? I mean, Wan'Dale Robinson didn't play, so I would think Toney would have, you know, an extra big role. I get his future there is questionable. Nice touchdown by Nick Boyle. I get Toney's future there is questionable. I've never been all that high on him to begin with, but still, he's probably their second best offensive weapon. You could argue it was first going into Sunday, but after the game Saquon had, I don't know if Saquon's washed anymore. The Beats could have had this, but instead they opted for Brady Boatwell and then Joe. I mean, I wouldn't call Joe Burrow mid. He was good last year. This year he's been pretty mid, but last year he was good. But yeah, the Beats could have had this. And the Huskies, although they had the MVP last year. But still. How many times has Patrick Mahomes gotten traded in OFL history? It feels like at least about 5. Like, why do people hate having a really highly rated quarterback? I don't get it. I mean, the Wizards took advantage, and at the time, I feel like we thought they may have given up a lot, but obviously it has been well worth it. Who is the Wizards quarterback before Mahomes? I don't even remember. Didn't they have Stafford? I think it was Stafford. Mahomes was also inconsistent in past Maddens. Yeah, but he's been pretty consistent this Madden. Who is wearing 36 on the defensive line? That's a good question. 36. Ugh, that is an ugly defense. Maybe for a defensive end, it's fine. Stat pad. No Stafford slander. I don't care that he looked like balls on Thursday. We don't slander him. That was an awfully late flag. Could that be a roughing the passer? And I don't think they got that first down. Yep. Wow. Automatic first down for Carolina. Willie Gay. Yeah, they did not get the first down. So that's a pretty big penalty. And it looks like the Panthers are looking to capitalize. What do I think of the new Utah Jazz jerseys? I think they're boring. The old ones were good. Like, I kind of like the new colors. I think they go well together. But the jerseys themselves are just, eh. Like, I think a minimalist design, you can make it look good. But the Jazz did not make it look good. And now Ochai is going to have to wear that for the next 4 years. And Udoka as well. Can't wait to be this optimistic, only to lose to Deshaun Watson by like 14. I mean, the Lions are pretty solid. Pretty much everybody in the NFC North is solid except for us. Which, I mean, we're the highest rated team in the division by quite a bit. They kind of do give off a Color Rush vibe, you're right. Although I've always liked the Color Rush jerseys. Like, I know a lot of people don't like the Seattle neon green jerseys. I've always been a fan of them. I like how they pop out, and I think it's a cool color. But, yeah, the Jazz fumbled the bag. Because I think with their, history of jerseys and their color scheme, they could have made something really good. And they didn't. Which stinks, because now I have to like the Jazz, because they have Ochai and Azubuike. Strip sack. Carolina doesn't lose any yards, though, and Matthew Judon's hurt. Can we take a moment to congratulate Husker on no longer dealing with Scott Frost? The funny thing was, Scott Frost's buyout in like 2 weeks would be like cut in half, and they still just wanted to fire him just to get rid of him, when they could have waited 2 weeks and saved, I think, $7.5 million. 3rd and goal, Orlando gets the stop. Thoughts on the Ravens purple? I think purple is a good football color. I think, like the Ravens and the Vikings, those colors go well with football jerseys. One of the main reasons why I picked the Vikings this year to begin with is because they have cool colors and cool jerseys. I mean, that's really the only thing I base my OFL team choice on is, I mean, do they have good jerseys or not? Will Disney invade? I mean, they already invaded the NBA in 2020 when everybody was in Disney World for 4 months. And they gave out Mickey Mouse championship rings. Ooh, that should have been intercepted. Carolina's got a lot of good players in their secondary. They have Jesse Bates, Jeremy Chin. I know they had Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I think he's on, I want to say Denver now. They have Sauce. They have another good corner, too. I forget who. But Husker did a really good job of building up this defense, and the offense with Bryce Young has gradually gotten good. Another dropped interception, though. This is like Mahomes in the first half of the playoff game last year against the Pioneers, where he was throwing interceptions galore. Nearly a water pint, doesn't have a good bounce. They've ran the ball a lot. And to be fair, they haven't ran it that poorly. Clyde is a good 4+ yards a carry. Mahomes should pull a Joe Burrow and have 5 turnovers and still win. I mean, Joe Burrow almost won. Although that entire game was just completely drunk. Week 1 as a whole was pretty drunk, but that game specifically. Another pass rusher hurt for Orlando. First it was Judon, now it's Willie Gay, who had the roughing the passer earlier. Remember not being here for the Wizards-Pioneers game and being like, they scored... No, that was the Wizards-Chiefs game. The Wizards-Pioneers game was the one where the Pioneers were up by like 20 or something at halftime, and then the Wizards like stormed back. The Chiefs game against the Wizards was the one with all the points. Football is back when you see kickers missing kicks. Yeah, the kickers were very questionable in Week 1. Can't miss field goals if you don't take any field goals. That was our motto. You said Pioneers, it made me confused. Well, the Wizards had the 2 crazy playoff games last year. The Pioneers game was almost as crazy as the Chiefs game. Ooh, they didn't get it, and they're going to punt it at 4th and inches on the 50. Yeah, I don't agree with this call. You're playing against the 6-0 team. You're also 6-0. You're trying to prove something. I would have gone for it. I mean, they ran the ball well. Just punch it up the middle of Bryce or Clyde. Lions defense needs to be worked. Yeah, our defense is still not good. There's only so much Aaron Glenn can do when you got some of the goofballs that we've got in the front 7. It's nice having some talent at linebacker with Rodrigo, who lived up to the preseason. Another dropped pick. Jesus Christ. As I was trying to say, it's nice that Rodrigo lived up to the preseason hype, but still, the front 7 is dookie. And they were pretty dookie on Sunday. Okay, that was a very weird play, but it works. Swift is him. That reminds me. I need to check the injury report because it said it'd be out at 4, and I'm very concerned with Mr. Swift because he wasn't at practice today, and we signed a running back. And Swift is usually banged up, so... Ankle injury. Phenomenal. Hopefully he's just resting and it's nothing serious, but really with any running back, specifically injury-prone running backs, you can be a little bit concerned. We signed TJ Carey. Any idea on how he is? I don't think I've seen that name in about 5 years. I forgot he existed. Who should you start? Tua versus the Ravens or Ryan versus the Jags? I would probably start Matty Ice. Rashawn Gary is hurt. A lot of pass rush injuries today. When is the last time the Lions had a defense that wasn't horrible? 2014, our defense was like 3rd in the league. That was the year we got robbed in the playoff game against Dallas that we 100% should have won. And then other than that, we really have not had a good defense in the past, like, 15 years. But in 2014, our defense was quite good. That was when we had guys who could actually get to the quarterback and, like, half-decent linebackers. and a decent secondary. Although our secondary in real life is fine enough. 3rd and 1. There's a flag. I don't know if he got it. But it might not matter because they're going to move back 10 yards. Mahomes has been in the zone since that first throw. Here's another big-time throw to the end zone. It's caught, but out of bounds. Ooh, that was close. Would you agree that Joe Hayden would be a good signing? I guess. I mean, wasn't he half decent last year, even though he's old? Browns Aviators is the other game. That was week 8. This is week 7. So, that game is next. Who did the Aviators play this week? Obviously, Cleveland plays Detroit. Nice break sack from Bryce, and he throws nearly an interception. These defensive backs have bricks on their hands. How am I today? I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself? I think both of these quarterbacks are double agents. I mean, these two teams are 6-0, but I think both of these quarterbacks want to be 6-1, although Carolina got it here on the screen. A halfback screen actually worked in Madden. How about that? Give me a record prediction. 12-5. I've been high on the Ravens all year. And they look good in week 1, albeit it was against a Jets team that was very clearly undermanned. And although I've been vocally high on the Jets this year, I have quickly lost confidence because it is the Jets. Although there are plenty of reasons to be optimistic about the Jets in the future, but I think my playoff pick for them this year was probably a little bit far-fetched. And some of Robert Saleh's interview answers that I've seen on Twitter are not the best. Yeah, I've had some good luck with screens in 23 so far, which I guess will probably be good for watch games if we do OFL 23 on Madden 23. Wow, what a play down the field to the 3. But since there are so many screens and watch games, that'll be beneficial, again, if that's the route we go with. Sorry you're late, no problem. You're not 0-8 yet because this is the first game today. So you'll be 0-8 in like an hour and a half. These quarterbacks are looking like the Notre Dame quarterback. That is facts. Yeah, that guy is not very good. They could really use a Bo Nix right about now. Do you want to make a trade? Bo Nix for, like, Isaiah Foskey, Michael Meyer, and Brandon Joseph. That seems like a fair swap. You get your quarterback, and we get 3 good players. Lions Commanders, a winnable. This is the first time we've been favored since we hired Dan Campbell. And oddly enough, I don't really have that good of a feeling about the game because I think the Commanders are actually a half-decent team. But this is the first time we've been favored since probably right around when we fired Patricia. Hope the Ravens flounder this year because they are the Ravens and they will make me look smart. I'm hoping the Ravens do well for the opposite reason, so they can make me look good. Because I picked them to win the division over the Bengals. I don't know how to feel about the Bengals, because on one hand, in a way last year, I feel like their run was a tiny bit fluky, and they just seemed poised for, like, you know, a Super Bowl hangover. But on the other hand, their biggest weakness was the offensive line, and they added 4 good starters. But the offensive line was dog water against the Steelers, albeit it is the Steelers who have a very good front, but their offensive line was miserable on Sunday. Patricia was bad at play calling on Sunday, not surprised. Yeah, he's a defensive guy to begin with. So that, first off, I mean, bad coach aside, why would you have a defensive guy call offensive plays? He was a bad defensive coach with us, so what makes you think he's going to become a good offensive coach all of a sudden? Like, you're telling me nobody else can take that role? Steelers defense is going to have a field day with them. And the crazy thing is, knowing the Steelers, they're going to win the game by 4. Steelers win the AFC North. In order for that to happen, you got to not have the worst quarterback in the division by far. With all due respect to Mr. Biscuit and Tiny Hands. Wow, there's 33 seconds left in the half. Holy cow, they got to move quick. I'll gladly take over play calling for Patriots. I mean, Bill, you clearly need somebody to take a job there. I mean, I have 0 play calling experience other than in Madden. I don't know how much that'll get you to, but I'm better than Mr. Pencilface. The Steelers are the single lucky. Some organizations are just better than others, and the Steelers are one of them. So I don't know if it's luck. It's just that some organizations just have that type of infrastructure and culture, and they consistently are good because of that. The Ravens are another example. New England over the last 20 years. As much as I hate to say it, Green Bay is also an example. To a lesser extent, probably San Francisco's in that mix. So, I mean, there's a reason why they have 6 rings. There's a reason why they've had 3 head coaches since the Super Bowl era. 10-10 at halftime. It has been as close as advertised, although both quarterbacks have been quite mid. Meant in recent years. Well, they have, as I've always said, one of the probably 3 best coaches in the league, in my opinion. And they always have a great defense. And even though their quarterback play has been bad since Big Ben fell apart, they have enough talent on the roster and throughout the organization to where they could mask up their issue at quarterback. And now they have a better QB than they did last year. Regardless if it's Mitch the whole season or Kenny Pickett comes in and plays, which I'm expecting to be inevitable, both of them are better than 2021 Big Ben. The Ravens have had 2 head coaches in their existence. Well, yeah, the Ravens are another great example of an organization who has a strong culture, and there's a reason why they always are usually atop the standings. If Mike Tomlin is giving drugs to his players to play better, that's not luck, it's drugs. Well, I don't know if he is. I mean, maybe, for all I know. Watch the Cardinals beat the Tigers. It's the OFL. It's Madden Sim. Anything can happen. That wouldn't completely shock me. I wish he was. Mahomes on 3rd and 7 heaves up a prayer, and it is caught. I think that's Kadarius Toney again. He just kind of said, F it. I hope one of my receivers is nearby, and he was. Browns have a realistic shot to start 4-0 with the Jets, Steelers, and Falcons. That smells like 2-2. Although I picked up Cleveland defense in a number of fantasy leagues because their schedule is, well, as you can see, Carolina, the Jets, the Steelers, and the Falcons, none of whom I would say have scary offenses. Who's going to beat the Browns? Well, I would say the Steelers have the best chance, not just because they're the best team of that group, but it's a division game. So that evens the playing field a little bit, along with the fact that they're the best team in the group. Orlando's getting close. Can they take the lead in the red zone? Mahomes has literally been in the zone the entire game. And they only have 10 points. Mahomes hasn't been that impressive. Dolphins, Pats, Bills. When do you play the Jets? Oh, you just did. So your first 4 games are against the AFC East. You're lucky, because the AFC East is like the most mid-division of the league. Give TJ cocaine and he'll be right back. Yeah, that sounds great. I don't know what cocaine does to the pec area, but if it gets him healthy, then I don't know. After that, you played the Chargers, New England, Baltimore, and Cincinnati. Yeah, that's quite a bit harder. So the Wizards drive down the field and score a touchdown. Now Carolina has to respond. I don't think Bryce Young has ever had a watch game that's been, like, really good. Like, he's just average. I don't know why. Do what the military did. Give Ronnie Stanley drugs, Marcus Peters, and J.K. Dobbins recover quicker. Are the Ravens going to be the unluckiest team because of injuries again? Just like last year? Then you play Miami, the Bills, and the Bucs. Yeah, that's a pretty brutal stretch before Massage Boy comes back. They average 5 ACLs lost a year. Last year, they doubled that. And they had the mascot tear his knee. How does a mascot tear its ACL? Like, I guess you plant your leg wrong and boom, but what could the mascot have been doing where he was that into it? Well, Las Vegas and Seattle get teams. Yeah, they'll get teams eventually. I would think. Rip his leg off. That's one. Oh, it's picked off on the screen. Screens don't work in this game, kids. And he's taking it back for 6. Who's 31? Whoever it was, nice play. And the Wizards are up by 2 scores. Did a pivot and your knee popped. Oh. Well, that's not ideal. Who was the basketball player that tore his ACL slipping on a sock in his hotel? I never heard of this story. Is this a real thing? A player tore his ACL by slipping on a sock? How could a sock be slippery? He was playing youth football and missed the tackle. I guess he planted his leg on you and boom, there goes your ACL. Baseball. Oh, well, even still, how can someone slip on a sock? Chris Sale, probably. Yeah, you're right. It probably was Chris Sale. With his, not just injury luck, but the fact that his bones are made of paper. Or let me rephrase, the fact that they're made of wet paper. Anthony Davis is also an example of this, although his stuff isn't like as unlucky as Chris Sale. Chris Sale's injuries just happen like in the most odd ways possible. Not to say Anthony Davis is lucky. Although both of them have rings. So, it can't be too bad. And both of them are possible Hall of Famers. I mean, if Anthony Davis retires today, is he a Hall of Famer? Probably. Maybe. And Chris Sale's right up there, too. He's been really good for like a decade. All right, that'll wrap up the third. A big quarter for Orlando. They drive down the field, score a touchdown, add a pick 6, and lead by 14. We'll see if they hold on. Bryce Young heaves it deep. That was a good throw. Who's better, Soto or Tatis? For the long term, I'll pick Soto. For the short term, like if I were to pick one now, probably Soto, but that's close. Ringworm or not? Chris Sale probably fell off his bike. Yeah, wasn't that the story? Didn't he fall off his bike or something? Maybe it wasn't that. And then I don't know if it was his ACL, but he was doing something like riding his bike. And, well, you know, injury. Oh, wow, he broke in for a touchdown. I thought he was going to be tackled when I looked down for a second. And, of course, whenever I look down, something exciting happens. And Carolina makes it a one-score game. Clyde has been really good today. Nice to see Chris Sale pay tribute to Joe Biden by falling off his bike. Well, unlike Biden, Chris Sale is out for the year. I guess it's not ideal when your bones are worse than somebody who's in their 70s, but, I mean, that's what you get with Chris Sale. His bones are about as old as, like, King Tut. As seen by him getting hurt every, like, 5 minutes or so, it feels. Carolina can get a stop here. They can really make this a game. And they don't. A nice first down for Orlando. At this point, Chris Sale is going to die from natural causes at like 50. Poor guy. If the Wizards score here, does Carolina have a real shot of coming back? Oh, well, they just scored, so that answers part one of the question. Mahomes of a bullet for Tyreek Hill, and they're back up by 14. All right, so now we'll answer part two of the question and see if the Panthers can actually make a run. It's pretty wild. The Wizards, like, their roster has a lot more holes than other teams, but the past 3 seasons they've been consistently really good, and this year they look like they're on another level. They've dominated in the sim. They've played really well in watched against a 6-0 Carolina team. So I don't know how anybody else other than Orlando can be the OFL Bowl favorites at this point. I mean, obviously it's Madden, and anything can happen, and the Wizards have had a few heartbreaking playoff exits, but they look as close to unbeatable as any team has been in all of OFL 22. They do have one of the tougher divisions in their conference. The Tigers are always good, and the other 2 teams aren't horrible. All this just for the Wizards to lose to a team like the Shamrocks in the divisional round. They 100% would. I mean, Dublin's made it to the AFC Championship twice in 3 years, and they could be good enough to do it again this year. Assuming their hot start wasn't a fluke, which based off of the last stream, it could be a fluke. Breaking news, Chris Sale falls off bike and tears ACL. How would one tear an ACL off of falling off a bike, though? Because normally that happens when you plant your leg or move it awkwardly. I mean, I guess if your leg gets, like, stuck with the bike or something. And I guess with Chris Sale, anything's possible in terms of injuries, so I guess I wouldn't doubt it. And the craziest part of all that is the Red Sox 100% won that trade. Because they got a championship out of it, whereas Yoan Moncada's been mid. Carolina's making a nice little run here, but they don't have a lot of time. They only have 2.5 minutes. They've got to move quick. There's a good throw in the corner of the end zone for a touchdown by Bryce Young over to Justin Jefferson. Chris Sale went to plant his leg after stopping his bike. ACL explodes. Bike falls. The end. Does Carolina go for an onside kick? With how their run defense is played today, probably not. The Wizards haven't really ran the ball very well. So, if I was them, I would trust their defense, and it looks like they agree. So now that I said that, the Wizards are going to score a 75-yard rushing touchdown on like the second play of the drive. Who got the pick? I don't remember. It was 31. Whoever 31. I think that was his number. We'll obviously check at the end when we see the box score. Oh, so the Wizards aren't even going to run the ball. I mean, with how they've passed it today, I can't really blame them. As that brings us to the 2-minute warning. So now Carolina's going to be using their timeouts. Chris Sale is the human version of Humpty Dumpty. Changed my mind. I mean, you're not wrong, although falling off the top of the wall would, like, just about kill anyone. So, maybe Humpty Dumpty is a little bit less injury-prone than we think he is. And maybe it's just about Humpty Dumpty needing a hug. Maybe a hug would have stopped him from, I don't know, jumping off the top of the building. Mahomes is still in the zone. He's literally been in the zone since the first drive of the game. I don't think he's ever been out of the zone all day after he made that first throw to Tony. I think Carolina's out of timeouts, so this is it. 3rd and 5. Ball game's on the line. Either the Wizards win it or the Panthers will get it back, and they choose to run it, and it works! I'm surprised they ran it, and clearly Carolina was as well, but Carolina's out of timeout, so the Wizards are going to win the game. So, in a battle of the two best teams in the league so far, I think we can confidently say one of them is probably a little bit above the other one. The Wizards beat Carolina 31-24, the big performance from Patrick Mahomes. Humpty Dumpty would be a fantastic wide receiver in the NFL. Sadly, he's very injury-prone as any hit to him causes him to explode in many pieces. Hopefully he doesn't play in the AFC West, so he doesn't have to play like Derwin James twice a year. Mahomes was very good. Bryce Young was pretty good. Clyde was really good as a receiver. Did anybody else have over 100? Tony did. Yeah, I guess that's what happens when you have two 40-plus yard catches. The pick 6 was by Connor Sellers, a rookie out of Butler. World-renowned football school, Butler. Has Butler ever had an NFL player before? Why do I kind of doubt it? Well, alright, it's sim time for week 7. How will the Vikings disappoint me today? This win happened because Jackson Mahomes wasn't there. So what, is Jackson Mahomes not shown up to any Wizards games this year? Is that why they're 7-0? Obviously, he went to the game in Kansas City. I don't want stats. No. We want schedule. All right, let's see what happened around the league. Ooh, maybe the Shamrocks are a fluke. Ogba's at starting defensive tackle, rush defensive tackle. He's all good. So Dublin might be a 4-0 fraud because now they're 4-3. Lamar gets outplayed by Demarius Johnson. Damian Harris scores twice. Isaiah likely carries for Shamrock's offense even though they lost. Yeah, your depth chart is updated with those offensive linemen. The Pioneers at a bye week. The Rams have won 5 in a row. They are red hot as they beat the Jags with a solid performance from DJ Uiagalelei. Yeah, and the Buckner trade. He's where he belongs as well. Noah Syverson, nice passer rating despite the loss. Javonte Williams was decent. Derrick Henry scores twice. Jarvis Landry played really well, just like in real life. Jarvis Landry is not washed, kiddos. Zadarius Smith, 3 sacks. So the Rams are pretty good. As were the Ravens today. They win their second game of the year over the Beats in a battle of 2 of the more disappointing teams in the league. Last year, these were 2 of the more surprising teams in the league. This game looks like it went into overtime despite a big comeback in the fourth quarter by Brooklyn. The Ravens hold on. Dan outperforms Mr. Burrow. Bijan Robinson does score twice. Darren Waller and Scotty Miller are both very good. Battle of the purple teams, and the dark purple team beats... Oh my god, we scored 52! Where has this been all year? Malik Willis played very well. CJ Stroud did not play very well. Najee Harris was good. Terry McLaurin scores twice. Why couldn't we have played like this all year? The same Saints team made the NFC Championship and nearly won it just a year ago. Myles Garrett, 2 sacks, and then we had quite a few interceptions. Logan Wilson, Cam Curl, and Jair Alexander. Why have we not played like this all year? I get the Saints clearly aren't all that good, but I mean, I'm not complaining. The Seahawks go back to losing. Wow, who could have seen that coming? They get killed by the Niners, 35-13, although Trey Lance wasn't all that impressive, but Kyler Murray was worse. If we didn't simcast that Seahawks game against Arizona, would they eventually go 0-17? Not that Arizona's any better. Wow, Josh Jobe, 2 interceptions. Apparently Josh Jobe made the Eagles' 53-man roster. I didn't even know that until I saw him on the sidelines on Sunday. Do we play the Cardinals this year? Please tell me we do. Darn, that would have been nice. Who's next? The Tigers. Okay, so Arizona's 0-7. The Tigers beat them pretty handedly. Trevor Lawrence scores twice. Trayvon Smith was mid. The Cardinals did add an extra first-round pick for Emmanuel Ogba, who is quite good. So we'll see how much that's worth it. The Aviators had a bye week. The Bats had a bye week. Okay, then. The Bears are legit. They beat the Huskies 44-7. Okay, then. Carson Strachan was very good. Hector Estrada, not so much. Dallas Booth was the game's leading rusher. Oh, James Robinson's hurt. That's right. That's why this guy's playing. Marquise Brown was very good. Big game for Will Bryant, who infamously was nearly traded on draft night. The Beats lost. The Bison lose to the Dolphins 42-28. So Miami extends their lead in the AFC East. Aaron Rodgers plays very well, throwing 4 touchdowns. Jeff Sims throws 4 interceptions. Kamara was really good, though. He tried to carry them, but not so much. Justin Ross, 8 for 134. Good for him. 2 interceptions by Marlon Humphrey. The others were Marcus Williams and the rookie out of UCLA, Corin Caldwell. London still apparently cannot play defense. Their lowest scoring game defensively was 24. I mean, there's only so much Jordan Love can do, although he did get intercepted 3 times today. I would not be surprised if London has more points than anybody in the league, yet they're 2-5. I mean, their defense is just historically bad. Shout out to Dante Manning, go Ducks, and Jeff Okuda, go Lions. Obviously, the Broncos won. They appear to be better than their first 5 weeks suggest. The Browns dropped 45 on the Lions. Their offense continues to be very good as well. Russell Wilson and Deshaun Watson were both very good. I mean, the Browns won, but that's not a good number. You seriously lost to the Pats. Yes, he did. 2 sacks for Nick Bosa and an interception for Jamin Davis. The Bucks beat Atlanta. Are the Falcons fraudulent? They started the year 4-1, although Brady Boatwell was not great. Derek Carr was great, however, as was Devontae Adams. Chiefs on a bye week. The Diablos steamrolled the Jets 38-7. You know, maybe the Jets should donate some of their corners to the Black Knights, so that way London can be good and the Jets can tank in peace. I definitely showed the box score for the Pats game. So, that was towards the beginning. That was one of the first games we went through. Can we, like, free Devontae? I agree. Free him. I will give you $5 to show me my offensive line. I mean, I do like money. Is that everybody? Washington had a bye week. Niners won. Giants had a bye week. Huskies got smacked. Jags lost. Jets got smacked. Lions lost. Panthers lost. Oh, we started with the Panthers. Okay, that's everyone. Why does Shane Wagner a 50 overall play? Could it be because of, like, a new injury? Oh, well, Travis Kelce's hurt. That's new, but... Wasn't one of the other offensive linemen hurt? I could have sworn they had, like, Broderick Jones injured or something. $71. Well, he's not quite a 50, but... Although I thought, wasn't one of those other guys starting at right tackle? One of those guys at right guard? So, I don't know why he's playing, but I can fix it if needed. Players of the week, Derek Carr, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Jobe, and Marlon Humphrey. The Dolphins double down. Everyone agree we had the worst defense in the league. I'm going to prove why that's not true. This right here. 247. Although New Orleans is actually not too far behind them. McPherson should be a right tackle. Okay, I'll make that change. I know I normally say I don't do depth chart changes during the stream, but there might have been a mistake. So... Shane Wagner started the year at 59. Now he's in his 70s? Yeah, he is starting. Yeah, McPherson. They might have had him at left guard, though. Wait, where is he? Is he at left guard? No, he's at right guard. Okay, so who isn't starting? Jones, McPherson. So Raymond's probably not starting. There we go. Okay, now we're good. Would I agree that the Browns have the best offense in the league? Probably. I mean, London, even though they're 2-5, they've got to be up there. Let's see points per game. Cleveland is first by a lot. The gap between them is the gap between second place and, like, the middle. So, yeah, I can't really argue it. And we'll get to see what they can do here in Week 8. Against the 4-2 Columbus Aviators. Who is the least points per game? Well, the least points in general are Seattle. Kansas City is second, and they're 4-2. But, yeah, it has to be Seattle. Their offense blows. And they've had an extra game over the Chiefs. They've scored 90 points in 7 games. That's like 13 a game. Yeah, that's brutal. Do I send the 5 to your OnlyFans? Yeah, you know where that is. So in the AFC North, everybody won except for Dublin, who's lost 3 in a row. The Clevelands have won 5. The Clevelands. Yes, we have the Clevelands. The Clevelands have won 5 straight. The Aviators have won 3 straight. The Wizards extend their lead in the South with another win. The Dolphins are still the only good team in the AFC East. The Pioneers and Chiefs are tied for first in the West, although the Diablos aren't too far behind, and neither are the Broncos. Very competitive division. The Bears lead the North. Carolina still leads the South. Not a good week for the South. Washington, with their bye week, still leads the East, and the Rams are still a game ahead of San Francisco in the West, with these two teams being horrible. All right, time for Week 8. Siri, give me a whole number between 1 and 2. 2. I want to say that's the Aviators. Yep. I know both coaches are here, so they can pick their jerseys. Winner of this game will take first place in the division, because the Aviators and Browns would both be 5 and 2 if they tie, or if the Aviators win, so they'd be tied, but they would have the tiebreaker. And obviously, if Cleveland wins, he'll keep their lead. Regular all white. Is that the alternate classic? Yeah. So for the Aviators, I guess it's got to be black. We don't really want white versus white, do we? And these jerseys are kind of anyway. So it probably looks better with black. The regular all white. Oh, normal helmet. There we go. All right. Week 8, Monday Night Football. Who's ready for AFC North stuff? Knowing the AFC North, this game is going to end like 13-10. There's going to be 3 fumbles and 4 missed kicks. Calling it now. Looks like the Browns will start the ball. Cleveland has the best offense in the league by a pretty comfortable margin through 7 weeks. Russell Wilson has been cooking. Browns country, let's ride. That was corny, I'm sorry, but Russell Wilson's corny, so that'll happen. But he hasn't been corny on the field. If anything, he has been quite good. 18 touchdowns, 1 interception. The Browns are 2-0 in watch games, aren't they? They beat the Huskies and they beat us. Not much on the first play. Who's 85? Is that Devontae Smith? Yeah, and he gets big gain of 0. Unlike Nathaniel Hackett, Nick is actually letting Russ cook. Did anyone agree with what he did in real time? Because, geez, the end of that game was just stupid. 3rd and 9. Good throw to the sidelines by Mr. Wilson over to whoever 89 is. Devontae Smith again. Did I see McManus's tweet? Yeah, McManus kind of took the blame, which, I mean, what is he going to do? Blame it on the coach? I mean, it was on the coach, but yeah, I think he said, like, I should have made the kick. But obviously it was not on him. Not one person agreed with Hackett, not even his mother. 3rd and 11. It's impressive that Cleveland scored 35 points per game without much of a rushing attack. Nice sack by whoever this gentleman is. Jalen Phillips, the $100 million man wearing number 40. So Cleveland is going to have to punt. And now we're going to see check down Corral, the former Brown. He started his career in Cleveland and has bounced around ever since, playing for 4 teams in 4 different years. And he may play for another team next year, considering his contract is up. Although Corral's been pretty good this year, and he's definitely improved throughout his career. Last year he was solid with the Bears, although his team wasn't that good, but him individually he wasn't too bad. Here's a nice little play by Columbus. They'll get 22. Is that the big running back, Dontavius Brown? He looks big. It is Brown. Grand Valley State University's finest. 6'4", 250 or something. He is a tank. Although his yards per carry is about at the level of I.T. Thomas so far at around 0.5. Okay, I swear these defenders have bricks on their hands. That one, he literally caught it, but chose to drop it. That's a bad miss. He should have picked that off. And on the very next play, the Aviators will convert. Is that Drake London? No, that's Brown. That's not De'Ami Brown, is it? I thought he was still with the Bison. Oh, no, that's Dontavius Brown again. Yeah, that guy's a little bit big to be De'Ami Brown. I just realized we have to watch a whole game with A.J. Terrell playing defense. So, congrats on the win, Nick. If A.J. Terrell can't cover Darnell Mooney, how's he supposed to cover Ja'Marr Chase? Nice to see Jalen Reagor plays for the Browns. OFL Jalen Reagor's good, though. So, more like A.J. Terrell. Although A.J. Terrell wouldn't have had such good coverage. Yeah, I'll show everybody's injuries after Week 8. 3rd and 3, Trenton Simpson in the backfield. That probably knocks him out of field goal range. Yeah, they're going to punt. That's probably the right call. So far, we've had 2 stalled drives, 2 sacks. AFC North football, nearly a one-a-punt from Tommy Townsend. So now Cleveland gets it back. Another dropped pick. That one was going to the house, too. Do I need to turn the interception sliders up again? I thought the interception sliders were at a good spot. But clearly not. We've had like 10 dropped interceptions today. We did at the pick 6 by the Butler kid for the Wizards. Here's a nice play after the catch by Devontae Smith. Devontae's lucky he doesn't have to deal with Jeff Okudah in this game because Jeff Okudah owns Devontae Smith. Cleveland's offense is now starting to do something. Here's Chase. Russ was 6 for 9. Nice. Now he's not 6 for 9, so not nice. Personally, want to see A.J. Terrell get mossed for a Hail Mary and the Browns win. Can't say I'd be too upset by that. A.J. Terrell pack watch in the air. A.J. Terrell's getting mossed on Hail Marys, and Jair Alexander's getting interceptions. There's levels to this. Why do we ever run the football? That's a good question. Although you've only ran it 3 times compared to 11 passing plays, but 2 yards to 69, nice, is definitely a noticeable difference. This offense is the exact opposite of a Browns offense in real life. You're not wrong. Imagine if this team had Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. I'd pay to see Cleveland play London. How many points would Cleveland score? Here's Russ! Slides to the 4. I guess Madden just does not like receiving backs. Madden's always preferred power backs over receiving backs, and elusive backs as well over receiving backs too. I guess because in Madden Sim, receiving backs aren't receiving backs. Nice touchdown for Tommy Tremble. Cleveland versus the Seahawks. Then Cleveland's defense would look really good because Seattle can't score to save their lives. So the Browns lead 7-0. We all agree Russell Wilson's the MVP. I would say so far, yeah. I mean, I can't really argue it. I mean, Mahomes is right up in the mix. Probably a few other guys as well. Since we'll be in Week 9 in the next... I was about to say the next episode. Once we sim, we'll see who Madden thinks is the MVP. And see how wrong it is. I'm just ready to see Derek Carr, first place MVP. McCaffrey might be up there as well. There have been quite a few MVP running back candidates over the past few years. That might be a face mask. All 32 teams get a free game against the Seahawks. Whoever loses is canceled from the OFL. Bye-bye Denmark in that case. It is a face mask on Jamin Davis. That definitely looked like a face mask by the animation. There's a nice throw from Corral. Formerly known as check down Corral over to Brian Edwards. Hasn't exactly been check down Corral since he left Cleveland. And now the Aviators are moving it down the field nicely. Cleveland scored a touchdown, so Columbus kind of wants to answer back. Another good throw. Corral turned into a Chad after Cleveland. He's been good. I mean, I would say at this point he's an above-average OFL starting quarterback. Nice play. Patrick Surtain is hurt. Was that a Jabbo who made the play? Is a Jabbo number 90? I want to say, oh, Jabbo! Surtain is on the sideline, so he'll be fine. A Jabbo is 55. Okay, then who's a superstar who wears 90? Because obviously it's not Nick Bosa. Is that Christian Barmore, maybe? Is he a superstar? Because it could be him. Barmore or Kinlaw. I think it's probably Barmore. 3rd and 5. Short throw. Is he in? I don't think so. He does get the first, though, so it doesn't really matter. Barmore is number 90. Kinlaw is 99. Okay. Yeah, I feel like Barmore might be superstar. Accept the sack from a Jabbo so I can play the line. I've got it up and ready in case we need it. Nice touchdown by Columbus, and this game is tied up. Who's 84? I could not tell who that was. But he made a nice play. So the Browns score, and the Aviators march down the field and answer them right back. If our defense ever figures out you're supposed to cover the receivers and not look at them, watch out. I'm not convinced that'll happen. Devontae Smith's been the go-to guy so far. Jalen Waddle hasn't really done anything. Chase, I think, has a couple catches. And then here's a big play downfield. Is that I.T. Thomas? Taking it to the house on a 72-yard touchdown. That won't improve his piss-poor yards per carry, but it will put Cleveland back on top. For a second, I was trying to figure out which receiver that is, because 14 is usually a receiver number. But that's I.T. Thomas. I will say the one good thing about IT's skill set being a receiving back is that in watch games, he is always a really good receiver. Are you under 500? Ask your corners. Yeah, you guys are 2-5. Yet your offense is one of the highest scoring in the league. 14 is retired. Wow, the Browns have had good players. Good enough to retire jersey numbers? It's a surprise. Cleveland does have to pay a lot of guys. Everybody has to pay a lot of guys. Which, speaking of, I'll probably have the re-sign thing within soon because the trade deadline's coming up, and I want everybody to be able to know who they have as expiring contracts. All right, Lions. I never said that my team's historically been any better. So Columbus has roughly 3 minutes, and I think they start with the ball in the second half. So they can, maybe do some damage. Cut the lead from 7. Ooh, another dropped pick. That was also a pick 6. Hey, it's Verone McKinley. Go Ducks. That'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. Browns lead 14-7. Corral heaves up a prayer off his back foot, and it is caught for not quite a touchdown, but almost. To the 2. What a play. Who's 85? Is that their tight end, Sam Laporta, who's done quite a bit today? He looks like a tight end. Yeah, he caught that with the defender literally on his back. That's insane. What a catch. And Columbus will score on the very next play. That is Sam Laporta. He has been kind of good. So how much time will Cleveland have? They'll have 1:20 in all 3 timeouts. That's probably enough time, considering they have a good passing offense. But we'll see if Columbus can get a stop. EA, please don't mess this up. I mean, does EA control? Yeah, EA controls what happens. Who are we kidding? Ross with a strike up the middle. Which receiver is that? They have like 5,000 superstar receivers. 4 rushes, 16 passes. And the crazy thing is, that's probably smart. That was Jalen Waddle. His first catch of the game. Cleveland calls a timeout. I think that's Waddle again. No, that's Smith. Cleveland's not afraid to call these timeouts. They're making them used quickly. They probably shouldn't throw it up the middle of the field, though. If they want to conserve time. Ross takes a shot downfield and is dropped. Good defense. That does stop the clock, though. Chase wears 1, Waddle 17, Smith 89. That shouldn't be too hard to remember. Is Waddle 17 in real life? I think he's 17. I know he has a double-digit number. I'm 99% sure it's 17. Yeah, and Jamar Chase is 1. So that's only 1 I have to actually remember, because Devontae Smith is definitely not 89. They might have to call that last time out. Or waste 15 seconds and then do it. So now they're probably going to kick a field goal. Look at Madden calling in Nathaniel Hackett. Burn all the time and then force yourselves to kick a field goal. Did you get it? Yeah, he got it. All right, Cleveland is up. 17-14. Is there any time left? There's a singular second. So this will probably end the half. Waddle has the best signature celebration of the league. I can't argue it. I mean, it's a clean celebration. It fits his name. Waddle like a duck. And the Browns are waddling into halftime with a lead. 14-17. A-plus transition from yours truly. The Aviators do start the ball in the second half, so this is really anyone's game. Both teams have clearly come to play. Here's your Week 8 schedule. We play Detroit. Woohoo. Noted Browns kicker Chris Boswell. Okay, I'm pressing X. Will you please let me get out of the screen? We're going to see all these games in like a good 20 minutes, EA. All right, on to the second half. We'll see if Columbus could take their first lead of the game. Corral's been pretty solid today. I don't think he's been as good as Russ, but he's been highly productive. He's had some really good throws against his former squad. First play of the half. Corral rips one deep. It's tipped and incomplete. Both the receiver and the DB could have made a play there. The defensive back should have probably intercepted it. The receiver could have tried to catch it after the tip. Solid gain of 9. It's a 3rd and 1. They, just like the Browns, really have not ran the ball a whole lot, but I wouldn't be surprised here on 3rd and 1, especially with a guy like Dontavius Brown, who's good in short yardage. And he does get it. Good play. Just saw a meme of Nathaniel Hackett saying, I'll be honest here, that was a lot easier on Madden. I saw a tweet from like a verified Twitter source that suggested that like coaches play Madden to practice like clock management. That honestly seems like a good idea. Like how else are you going to practice like clock management? Because coaches need to understand how to do that. What other simulation is better than like Madden? So, I mean, it's honestly kind of a good point. Madden can be like legit pretty good practice. Corral has about 20 seconds to throw it. Heaves it deep for nobody. Good coverage, but bad pass rush. Third and 9. Cover 0 taken to a whole new level. Nice stiff arm as well by, I believe, Drake London, who had a pretty good NFL debut. I've been a noted, I don't know if that's a Drake London hater, but I wasn't necessarily high on him, but he did play well in Week 1. Credit to him. Now 2nd and goal. Can the Aviators take their first lead of the game? Not on this play. Hold on. Where's the clip?
Stroud in trouble, and Stroud is sacked again.
All right, now it's a 3rd and goal. The Aviators are backed up all the way at the 16. Corral with a strike for a touchdown by Drake London. And the David Ajabo sack does not end up really mattering in the long term. So Columbus is now up because Cleveland's defensive coordinator likes to drink bleach. I think the Browns' defense took the 1 week off of not sucking in a watched game when they played us, and now they're back to sucking. Thoughts on Knowles Falcons takes? I mean, Atlanta wasn't that. I mean, they played better than they were supposed to. Give them credit, but I mean, I don't think the Falcons are some team who improved over the offseason. I think he was probably wrong there. The one time you run man is the one time you're not supposed to. EA Sports, folks. Ichi Thomas is up to 4 yards a carry. Good for him. And now it's back to 3. Fun while it lasted. So now Cleveland is a 3rd and 1. You could rationalize running the ball here. Well, they kind of did. I don't think he got it. Oh, they gave it to him. That was an interesting play call, but, I mean, it worked. Got him a yard. For Brown's sake, they should probably just delete their defense. Russ looks like he's going to take a shot. Yup, down the field. Who's going to get it? It is Jalen Waddle. No, that's not Jalen Waddle. That's Jamar Chase because apparently I'm blind. So the Browns are back ahead with a missile from Russ over to Jamar Chase. I guess Russ is currently cooking in the kitchen, and the Browns are back up. Columbus's lead lasted all but about, 5 plays. This has been quite the game. And now the Aviators are starting all the way back up to 14. We'll see what Matt Corral and friends can do. Corral had a very good opening drive of the second half, which put Columbus ahead. Now they're not ahead. He might take a shot too. Well, he takes a shot from the sidelines. while the Browns defensive coordinator also takes a shot, but not with a football, but a shot of vodka. Yeah, not much more he could have done there. Good pass rush. Then on third down, Corral is wrapped up. Oh, he got rid of it. Well, still a stop nonetheless. Nick Bosa with the hit. Takes a shot at his coach's head. I think Nick would have pleasure doing that. And to be honest, I don't blame him. No, I don't think it... I think he got it out. Or at least that was the ruling. Maybe it was a fumble. All right, let's take a close look. IT is now at under 3. Oh, we had that glitch. Okay, so now we can't look at it. We also can't sim. Although with how this game has been, I don't think we're going to need the sim. But, oh well. Nick, when he sees the defensive coordinator in the parking lot, grabs a bat. 3rd and 5. He should have ran it for the first down. I mean, they got it. So, I mean, I guess it worked. But that was probably not the right read. Here's IT Thomas with blocks, breaks a tackle. Now he's back up to over 4 yards a carry. How about him? He's got to have like 100 yards from scrimmage now with the super long receiving touchdown in the first half. So the Browns lead 24-21. They have the ball. They're in a good spot. We'll see if they can hold on for the win, though. Cleveland would go out to 6-1 with a victory. Hackett is fuming right now watching this. Big hit. 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2. Could again make the case that maybe they should look to run the ball. They give it to IT. Runs by the defender. Here goes IT Thomas. Stays in bounds for 21. Look at IT go. He's having himself a nice little drive. And now he's in the zone. Instead of consistent 4-yard rushes, it'll be 6. IT Thomas is pretty inconsistent in watch. I think he's better in watch than sim because he has some really good moments, and now he gets his second receiving touchdown of the game. I did just say instead of getting 4, he's going to get 6. And he did technically just get 6. 6 points. So Cleveland is up by 10, the first double-digit lead of the game. So now Columbus has to respond or else they could be in some trouble. That's a good start. His screen actually worked. Got him a first down. Dontavius Brown's been a very good receiving option today. Oh, it didn't get him the first down. I thought he got it. I guess not. Corral under pressure. Goes deep. Nice catch. Good throw, too. Again, he could have ran it. Probably should have. But I guess it still worked out. Rondale Moore, Viking legend. There's a nice little play after the catch. Gets him 21. It appears the Aviators have, in fact, responded and kept themselves in the game. I wonder what Rondell Moore thinks of Octi. I don't know. Maybe he appreciates us for the guaranteed money that we gave him. Diggs got toasted. Diggs was pretty good against the Bucs. I'm starting to think he's a little bit underrated. Everyone thinks he's so bad that like he's not actually bad. It's odd. I didn't know a player could be too overrated, but I would argue he is. First and goal. Another touchdown for Columbus. They've had 2 fullback dives for scores today. So it's back to a 3-point game, and now it's up to I.T. Thomas to win it on the ground for the Brownies. I.T. Thomas is not the most consistent, but he is in the zone. He's coming off a very good previous drive. We'll see if he can win the game for the Browns. Let's see what IT can do. Are they going to run another jet sweep? My God. And he fumbled it, but it's picked up by Cleveland. And there's a flag. That might have been the weirdest play. So it's a holding on the offense. So Cleveland is going to lose a lot of yards anyway on Dylan Raduke. So now it's a 1st and 16. So not the greatest start to the drive for Cleveland, who's looking to finish off the game. Ross gets it to Thomas, who was out of bounds, which stops the clock. Tie would be nice. That'd be the most AFC North-esque ending, a tie. 2nd and 13. Again, I think he's out of bounds, but they got the first down. So I don't think Cleveland could be too upset. Again, Devontae Smith, who's been busy today. IT for 3. Doesn't look like Columbus is calling their timeouts yet. I imagine the Aviators are going to let it run to the 2-minute warning after this play and then start calling their timeouts. That's probably smart by Columbus. It's not smart to leave players wide open, though. Again, he's out of bounds, but they got the first down. Pitch for IT. Goes backwards. And that'll bring us to the 2-minute warning. Can the Browns finish it off? They lead by 3. There's like nobody on the left side of the field for either team. I mean, if IT has some room there, he could do something. Which he gets a few. Alright, this could be the game. 3rd and 7. The Browns are also close to 4-down territory. Russell Wilson drops back to throw it. Why is he taking a shot through the end zone? They don't need touchdowns. They need a first down. And now Columbus can tie or take the lead. Let's see what Columbus offense can do. They have 1:46 and 2 timeouts. That is plenty of time. There's no excuse for them not to score with how they've played today. That was not a first. I thought he got it. Gets a few. Clock is running, though. They've got to move quick. Okay, why is check down Corral coming back at like the worst possible time for them? He's been so aggressive all game, but now that it comes to crunch time, he's throwing the ball 5 yards down the field. He does it again. Nearly picked off. Browns should have won the game right there. Chandler Staton is for field goal kicker. I don't know what his rating is, but if his target is the 34-yard line, that seems kind of short for most kickers, so that must mean he's probably not all that good. 3rd and 9. Here's Corral on the run, and is caught. Okay. They've got to call time. All right, 31. This is literally anybody's game. 31 seconds. Columbus is a timeout. Down by 3 on the Cleveland 38. This is literally 50-50. Corral under pressure. Nearly sacked by Bosa. Why are they running the ball? That's stupid. I mean, you do you, I guess. And now they call their timeout. Nathaniel Hackett, ladies and gentlemen. They could have taken a shot for the end zone. They might still do that. No, they're just going to kick. I don't agree with this. I would run another. I would probably, even if you call the timeout or not, I would have probably taken a shot for the end zone. Might as well. And then kick the field goal. But I guess we're going to do it now. 52-yarder, no guarantee. This guy's target yard line was the 34. They're snapping at the 35. From 52, I think he got it. He did. Chandler Staton ties the game. So the Aviators completely mismanaged the clock, but they still tie it. So barring something crazy, we could be going into overtime. We have seen a lot of Hail Marys compared to normal as of recent. Could we see another one here? If Cleveland even runs, like, okay, they are going to go for a Hail Mary. Nick knows a thing or two about Hail Marys. It's happened to his team before. Oh, they're running the ball. Flag! Ooh, if that's a face mask. Hold, okay. Yeah, we're going overtime. Yeah, they're not, they're going to, like, take a knee or something. They're lined in, like, a Hail Mary formation, though. But they're running the ball. All right, that'll bring us to overtime. 31-31. Tails never fails, although it feels like Tails has failed in, like, the last, like, 5 overtimes. So, we'll see if it fails again. Cleveland gets to choose. Cleveland, you know what's up. Tails never fails. Oh, my God, it's heads. Well, at least Cleveland tried. They picked tails, so I can't get mad, but the Aviators are going to start with the ball. So Columbus can win the game. Field goal takes the lead. Touchdown wins it. One time Tails fails. Tails has failed quite a bit recently. My 80% mark is more like 60 now. There's Bo in the backfield for a loss of yards. Who knew Chandler from Mr. Beast was on the Aviators, and who knew he could kick? 2nd and 11. That gets about 7. 3rd and 4. Cleveland has got a lot of guys in the box. I take it they're expecting a run. It's not a run, it's a pass. And Corral connects. That's his tight end, Sam Laporta, for 15. Laporta's been a monster all day. 5 for 101. He's been quite good. Both guys should have caught it. The defensive back had a hand on it. The receiver not only could have caught it, but he also could have gotten a big... Both the corner and the receiver could have made a big play there. Check down short. Broken tackle. Laporta again. He will not go down. Sam Laporta is eating. 6 for 121. I hope you started him in your fantasy leagues, because he's putting up numbers. Another first down for the Aviators. Corral's over 400 yards on the day. The Aviators are marching down the field. Cleveland may not even get the ball back. Tipped and incomplete. That's not necessarily a drop, but he did get a hand on it, although he never really had a shot to catch it. Corral up the middle again. Guess who it is? Sam Laporta is him. Bringing it to the 4. Columbus is 4 yards away from winning the game. And Cleveland had this game won. They were up by 10 going into the 4th. I'm here. What's your team doing? The first game, you guys lost by like 40. And obviously we haven't seen your second game yet. Second and goal, jet sweep. Wouldn't it be? It's so fitting that Cleveland loses on a jet sweep. Viking legend Rondale Moore walks it off for the Columbus Aviators. What a game. And the Aviators tie Cleveland in the division 37-31. Cleveland's defensive coordinator remains high on weed. Matt Corral right now is high on life because he balled out, as did Russ. Both QBs were really good. Russ certainly did not hurt his MVP chances. And I guess for what it's worth, neither did Corral. I.T. Thomas was good. He was good. Wasn't enough to win his team the game, though. Sam Laporta was also very good. Can I show you? The Week 7 game was shown earlier in the stream, so all I know is you guys lost by a lot. I forget to who, but Hector didn't play all that well. If your name is Nick, you probably don't want to watch game. That's true. Maybe Bacher wants to watch game, but the other two don't. All right, let's sim. Let's see what happens here in week number 8. The Bats lose to the Huskies 35-17. Toronto gets back on the win column. Hector Estrada played quite well. Dak Prescott was quite mid. They ran the ball really well. Imagine you go 0-8. Well, it's kind of likely. The Bears lose to the Giants 35-14. Nice win for New York. Mac Jones was very good. Carson Strong was not very good. Is Saquon still hurt? I thought he was back by now. I guess not. Elijah Moore, the big game for the Giants. The Beats lose to the exact same score, 28-31. So the Dolphins are 6-2. They continue to strengthen their lead in the division. Burrow and Rodgers were both solid. McCaffrey with a nice game. Scotty Miller was very good again, as was Julian Fleming. The Bison beat the Diablos 28-24. Good win for OKC. Nice little comeback in the 4th. Jeff Sims plays a lot better than he did last week. Baker was, fine, I guess. 3 touchdowns for Dalvin Cook. 1 for each yards per carry. How did your games go? I don't think we've seen any of your games yet because week 7 you had a bye week. And this week, nice performance for Arion Graham. This week we haven't gotten to you guys yet. So for your team, I guess you haven't really missed anything. London, they scored 28 points and they lost. Very typical for London. Although Jordan Love has turned the ball over quite a bit. Aaron Donald, 2 sacks. Pioneers beat the Broncos 24-27. Maybe it's time to slow the hype train on Denver, although Andy Morrison was very good, as the Pioneers continue their win streak out of the bye. Joe Mixon, over 100 yards. Michael Thomas was very good, despite losing. The Bucks win again. Oh, they played Seattle. Okay. Well, no wonder why they won. Seattle scored 14. That's above their season average. Progress. Baby steps. So what are the Bucks? They're not that bad. 5-3. The Cardinals are 0-8 as they lose to the Washington football team by 11. Traylon Smith did have a higher passer rating than Justin Herbert. Yeah, I'll check the Deion Jones thing, because Giddy did ask me about that a couple days ago, so I'll do that. Seahawks are learning how to walk. Seahawks can walk? I thought they could only fly. Falcons get back on the win column, albeit it's against the Jets. So, I mean, I would hope you beat the Jets. Imagine being good. Football team won. They're quietly 5-2. Okay, so the Saints are just horrible. New Orleans has been outscored 94-7 today. They've been outscored by 87 points in one stream. I'm pretty sure that's bad. Trey Lance gets revenge on his old team. CJ Stroud does not. 92-7 in one stream. Holy hell. Colt Riggs scores 3 times. Shaquille Barrett gets 3 sacks. Oh God, we're coming up soon. That's a lot of points against the Wizards. Okay. So the Wizards have been the best team in the league this year, and the Jags just beat them by 38. Nothing makes sense. Noah Syverson, 5 touchdowns. Patrick Mahomes, 4 interceptions. 59 points. God damn. That's a lot. That's like 8 touchdowns and a field goal. 3 interceptions by Ashton Davis. They had to have had a defensive touchdown or 2. Yeah, Jordan Battle. Holy hell. And we lose. Yay. 31-24. Mediocre Malik is back to mediocrity. Najee Harris scores twice. Fun. All right, the Panthers had a bye week. It's also worth noting that nobody's undefeated anymore, with the Wizards losing. Tigers beat New England in a very low-scoring game, 17-10. Demaryius Johnson was better than Trevor Lawrence in the Trevor Lawrence revenge game, might I add. Joey Bosa with 2 sacks and the loss. Rams had a bye week. The Ravens won again. Okay, Baltimore might be decent. 48-38. A lot of offense. That's a lot of touchdowns. Big 6 on the board for Danny Boy. Jonathan Taylor was good. Zeke with 69 yards. Nice. He also had 156 in the air. Isaiah Likely will likely play. Wasn't this the exact stat line he had last week? 8 for 104 and 2. This might have been his exact stat line. Emmett Barton scores twice. The other receiving touchdown was Deontay Johnson. Don't worry, I'll get to injuries at the end. The Saints blow. The Seahawks blow. The Shamrocks have blown. Look at the amount of points they've allowed. 46, 38, 30, 48. Their defense wasn't even that good in the games they won. Tigers won, Vikings lost, Wizards lost. That's everybody. All right, week 8 in the books. We'll do the stats and whatnot at the end. We'll start with standings and injuries. So nobody's undefeated, and we still have the Cardinals winless. AFC North, the Aviators have tied Cleveland for first place, and the Ravens might not be as far in the dumpster as they were at the start of the day. In the South, the Tigers cut the division lead to 1 after the Wizards got smothered by Jacksonville. The Dolphins extend their lead in the East because they won and everybody else lost. Typical week in the AFC East. In the West, the Pioneers and Chiefs are still tied for first. The Bears are still in first place of the North despite losing. Still a three-way race with everybody except for Minnesota, who has the highest point differential in the division because logic. How do we have a plus 22 point differential and we're 2-6? Yeah, these teams have negative, and the Bears have a plus 1. Carolina still leads the South, although Atlanta and Tampa Bay are right on their tail. New Orleans has allowed 284 points in 5 games. You think that's bad? Meet the Black Knights, who have allowed 282. The football team and the Giants look like they're in a 2-way race with this division. And the Rams are half a game ahead of the Niners, while these two teams are still an abomination to the league. Injuries. Complete. Oh, I don't think that one's new. This one feels new. Jedrick Willis and Jeff Walker from the Beats. Travis Kelce, forearm fracture. Saquon still has 2 more weeks. They also have both of their starting defensive ends out. Mike Anendu still has 4 weeks with the femur. Austin Eckler, ruptured disc. Oh, a lot of fun here. Okay. Terry McLaurin and Chidobe Awuzie joined the injury list with Rashad Bateman and Adrian Amos, who I think were both already here. Ndamukong Suh Jr., compound foot fracture. When did this happen? Is that, like, new? Yeah, that happened this week. Wow, so he is out through the year. A talented rookie. Players of the week: Trey Lance, Dan, Shaq Barrett, and Ashton Davis. All right, let's take a look at the stats around the league now that we're about halfway through. The highest passer rating among all quarterbacks, all starters, is Russell Wilson at 131. Wow, Hector's not too far behind at 124. Lamar's at 119. There are some good candidates this year. Trevor Lawrence's numbers are quietly very good. There are a lot of guys who are, I would say, in the running as of now. Mahomes' passer rating is towards the middle. Who's thrown the most picks? Trayvon Smith. Why am I not surprised? Who has the least passing touchdowns among starters? I would say of full-time starters, it looks like Trayvon Smith. Why am I not surprised? Least amount of yards among full-time starters. Justin Herbert. In the run game, Nick Chubb is at the top of the list in terms of yards and touchdowns. The usual suspects at the top. Saquon Barkley played half as many games as these guys, yet he's still super high on the list. He's pretty good. Michael Thomas is also pretty good with 800 receiving yards. Ten touchdowns for Tyreek Hill. That tops the list. Who's allowed the most sacks? Brennan Parks and Ryan Ramczyk. Defensively. Tackles for loss. DeForest Buckner with 13. 9.5 sacks for DeMarcus Lawrence, 9 for Montez Sweat, 4 interceptions for Denzel Ward. In the NFC, Tremaine Edmonds, Devin Bush, Shaq Thompson, Eric Stokes with 3. 10.5 sacks for the Chubster. Wow, the Niners pass rush is pretty good. 8.5 for Shaq Barrett. TFL's Aaron Donald with 12, although he only has 3 sacks this year. How many players have made all their kicks? 1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4. The best punter in the league is Braden Mann. The worst is Adam Walters. How many return touchdowns? 1 punt return by Tyreek Hill. All right, who's Madden going to have as the MVP? Russell Wilson. Coach of the Year is Jax. Russ, Offensive Player of the Year in the AFC. Defensive Player of the Year, Montez Sweat. Noah Syverson, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Alante Snow. As for the NFC, Nick Chubb, Offensive Player of the Year. Depoy, Bradley Chubb. Colt Riggs, Offensive Rookie of the Year. The Niners have a lot of guys at the top. Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year. They have 4th for Defensive Rookie of the Year. IT Thomas is really 7th for Best Running Back. I guess those receiving stats are really important. I don't know. All right, let's take a look at the schedule, and then I'll get to everybody's requests because I see a lot of them. Week 9. I kind of want to watch this. These two teams have been quietly very good. This is a good game, too. And Week 10. That's a good game. That's a good game. All right, so there are some fun games on the schedule. And then when do we play the Huskies? We have not played them once this year, have we? Week 11 and Week 18. You guys are tied for second in the division. All right, so I've gotten some requests. We'll start with Deion Jones. For everybody who's here who wants to see their team stats, put your team name in the chat, and I'll go in order based on when I see them. One year. All right, so the first one I see is the Bison. That means he's on the last year. He's a free agent at the end of the season. After the Bison, I see Huskies. They have 1 interception. That's not very good. Hector Estrada, on the other hand, is very good. No, Patrick should be at slot. I guess his numbers are just, not that good. After them, the next one I see is the Ravens. Here's Dan the man. Did I fall? No, that was my chair. Octi skipping the Pioneers because the Pioneers are after the Ravens. On my screen, you guys are below them. So I'm going based off of what I see. Hey, Christian Ellis is 3 for 3. After that, I see Cleveland. $22-1. Holy hell. That's pretty good. Actually, Thomas is only 50 yards a game. Look at the way Russ is spreading the ball out. That's like 5 guys with 50 yards a game. That's incredible. 3 sacks allowed all year. My lord. After that, Dolphins. Justin Ross is their leading receiver. Interesting. And I think that's it. So we'll also check the Vikings. Why does Malik only have 92 rushing yards? Lamar has like a few hundred. Shamrocks. Can I trade for your best corner? How about no? Who's the highest overall on defense? I assume on your defense? Is that what you're asking? I'm pretty sure Nick Bosa is probably a 99. If not, he's close. Yeah, he's almost a 99 across the board. All right, so that'll wrap up the stream. Weeks 9 and 10 will be pretty soon. After week 10 will be the trade deadline. So the official deadline. Oh, in the league. You mean as a team? We might as well check team ratings while we're already here. I know it says. No, I want to create a new character. All right, here we go. Panthers have a 92. How can you get Hector to an X Factor? By the game giving it to him automatically. Browns have a 93. So the Browns defense is the highest rated in the league, yet they allowed 37 points last week. All right, so that'll wrap it up. Weeks 9 and 10 will be soon. Then prior to the week 11 stream is when we will be at the trade deadline. So that'll be coming up. So, yeah, that about wraps it up. Hope everybody enjoyed. We'll be back pretty soon for more.